All about it, dude. All about it.
Sick.
Well, howdy, partners. Welcome to the Pine Box.
Heck yeah. I love it. Actually, let's do this real quick. A little closer or something? Yeah.
Beep, beep, boop, boop, motherfuckers. You have entered into the realm of the Pine Box.
Uh-oh.
You have fucking entered into transdimensional space, and today we are entering the paper space solar system. Welcome, you guys. Max and Miles are on the show.
Hi. Ooh, hello.
So yeah, we got a few things to do here, guys. A few things to move through. New Pine and Palm stuff. Probably like November. Probably like November 5th, I think, is when we're kind of planning that shit. Do you guys have shit coming out soon? Or?
Yeah,
soon-ish?
I wouldn't say soon, but I guess it's in the works.
It's in the works for sure. There may or may not be a full-length album that we're working on or something. Maybe.
Yes.
I don't want to say may not, because I'm pretty sure.
But you got to be realistic about it, because it's like,
you never know. You never
I'm pretty
know.
sure it's gonna happen.
We could break up.
You never know. So one of us could die.
It could happen tomorrow.
That's what I'm thinking too. You never know what the future entails, but maybe.
Definitely.
And I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So
No,
yeah.
I fucking I heard that Redshift Pilots is going to be releasing their full length.
Yes.
So
it's good.
We recently
I
were
haven't,
just like,
yeah. I haven't heard all of it, but the Redshift guys are like some of my Ron Mason, the guitar player, is a
homie.
Is a pretty
Yeah,
good friend
homie.
of mine. So, and I've gotten to hear that single that they put out.
oh, they put out a single already?
Yeah, they have a single out, and it's real good, real good. Like I'm always knocked flat by those guys. When
Yeah,
Beautiful,
dude.
yeah.
Endlessly talented.
Endless talent. Like their drummer Kevin, is a machine.
Kevin
He's
Giachetta.
amazing.
Is that
Kevin
last
Giachetta? Yeah.
Is that how you say his
rules.
last name? I could
I
never
hope so.
figure it out.
I hope that's how you say it.
But dude, the first time I saw those guys at Cardinal Palooza was like, because he does he'll be doing the drums, and then he has his fucking thing on the side.
Yeah.
yeah, his synthy boo.
And it's like, bro, it
Like,
adds a whole nother dimension.
When he
It
puts it on the
rules,
piano
yeah.
setting and he's playing, I'm like, dude, it's like the most beautiful thing.
He's
I've ever
talented
heard.
as fuck.
They're all incredible.
When that little brief period of time, he was like kind of, he wasn't like in Paper Space, but he like was filling in for Kurt and stuff like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Fucking, I couldn't believe it, dude.
Really?
Yeah.
How did that like come to pass?
He was
It's just his schedules didn't line up. You know, we brought him in to fill in for Kurt, and because Kurt was going to like Monterey or
That's
going to
right.
school.
He was going to
Yeah.
school,
So
yeah.
and we. There was talk of like becoming a 4-piece band again,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but
Yeah.
the schedules didn't line up, and it's all good. There's no
Cool.
Yeah.
Actually, I do.
beef.
I do want to fucking get into that during the main body, the 4-piece thing, but really quickly.
oh no, I know what we're gonna talk about. Okay,
you let me do the talking, okay?
okay.
So, Pine and Palm, the only show we have scheduled right now is October 13th at Impresso. We're gonna be playing some art show thing that they're having there, so y'all motherfuckers show out, gang up for that shit.
Hell yeah.
Do you guys have any shows scheduled at the moment?
Tomorrow, yeah.
That's
tomorrow
right.
we're
Yeah.
playing. So tomorrow is the 23rd.
The alumni
for those
show,
who-
right?
Yep.
The alumni.
Yeah.
It's
I
just
don't know
gonna-
when do these go up. Usually these podcasts. I don't.
This is gonna be released today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well then, yeah. So tomorrow we have. Tomorrow we're playing acoustic at the Batcave at the Batcave alumni show.
Just
with,
me and Milesy.
Just
Dude.
the two girls.
I remember you guys played acoustic at fucking. I saw you guys played just as a 2-piece at. Where was it? Was it the EP release show?
No, that was. I think I know what you're talking about. It was the same place. I think it's Reed's house, right?
Yeah.
And we were.
That's right,
Yeah, and we played acoustic. And I mean, I don't hate playing acoustic, but
don't
it's
either.
It just sounds better with drums.
Yeah,
Right?
and
It just
that's the big thing. Any band is going to sound better with
I feel
drums.
like
but
we're allowed to be a little more loose when we play acoustic, though.
it's stupid as hell.
We don't take it seriously
Goof
at
it
all.
up.
Yeah,
for
sure.
Alright, so shows are done. We got all that shit out of the way.
How is has Pine and Palm been kind of like slow with the shows because of recording? Or?
Yeah, that's exactly the
I feel
reason.
it.
Is really just we want to get this shit out. We want to get some fucking t-shirts made so that
same.
at the shows we do play, we have shit to pass out.
Yeah.
And also what it comes down to really is we're just sick of playing around here. We've played every fucking venue.
Oh man,
Yeah.
tell
And
me
it's
about
like
it.
we kind of want to start playing more in the Bay Area and
Same.
Yeah.
down south and shit.
Same
so
here. Yeah.
I'm still like, I'd be down to play anywhere.
Oh no!
honestly.
I'm
Like,
gonna
just-
take what we can get. Kind
Yeah,
of attitude
yeah.
for sure.
we just
but-
kind of we measure it out from show to show, like if it's worth it, if we're gonna be able to, if we're playing to people who have heard us 20 fucking times, we're probably not gonna play. You know what I mean? It's like
Okay, yeah.
you guys have already heard it until we have new shit. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
until
for
this
sure.
new
Yeah,
shit's
for
out,
sure.
like then we can go back to playing the local shit. But we definitely want to fucking like get some new venues going.
shed your fur.
shed a layer here.
Shed a layer.
Yeah, if you guys need to turn the air conditioner on at all, it's fucking.
It's good right
it will,
now.
It will
dude.
get
Thank
boiling
you.
in here for sure. Tonight at 6:00, 2824 Malaga Way in Modesto. Seafloor Cinema from Sacramento. Motherfucking Eugen from Stockton, California.
It's fucking tight.
Alleyways from San Jose. The Cozy Throws, which I don't know anything about. This is my first time hearing of them. And Rio Kita from Modesto. They're all going to be playing tonight. If you guys can find your way out there, it's going to be a fucking sick-ass show. Motherfuckers are going to get blown out of the water. Because, dude, Seafloor Cinema, have you guys heard of these dudes?
I have not. No.
They're a
haven't
math
either.
rock band, and they're
Okay.
fucking so dope, dude. They have a split out right now.
Oh really?
With I think So Many Dynamos is the other band.
Okay.
But yeah, their split's really fucking good.
I'm a total stickler for math rock. So.
Hmm, Miles
So-
loves technicality.
I love
Fuck yeah.
technicality, but I can't play technical.
Exactly. No, I either.
I wish I could.
I don't
wish
even
could.
try.
I dig it
some
so
of us
much.
don't try it. That's all right. It doesn't even matter.
I
Who cares?
fucking dig it so much, and I occasionally try to attempt it, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I watch people like Tim from Mugen.
Mhm.
I would call him the lead guitarist, but they both kind of do lead shit. But
Yeah.
they make me want to be better guitarists for real.
Oh,
like
that kind
when
of
I see
music
them play.
just really inspires me for
Mhm.
sure, and that's why I like it so much. It just
Yeah.
makes me want to be better technically.
Yeah, a lot of these like local bands that I see, I'm like, damn.
Like, how are you this good
Right,
already?
right. It totally makes me want to try to do better because it's like, dude, like you guys are super good, and it's like crazy to me that we're on the same platform. You
Exactly.
Why are we on the
Exactly.
same bill playing the
Yeah.
same show?
Why am I fucking playing before you guys?
Yeah,
What the
yeah.
fuck?
It's wacky. Wacky.
But that's gonna be beautiful, guys. If you can make your way out to Malaga Way in Modesto, that would be fantastic.
I'm gonna make a solid effort to be there.
Yeah, if you guys want to try to fucking come out to that, it would
If
be
I don't-
beautiful.
if I
It's
don't
only like
fall
$5. I'm pretty sure the
Yeah.
cover cost
is
only
it,
$5.
Where is it at? What venue?
It's actually Andrew from Morlocks Underground.
Oh, okay. Is it his place?
Yeah,
For sure.
he's where I think they're playing in the garage.
Oh, okay. Nice.
October 5th at 5 p.m. There's this neon art exhibit, and I gotta read a fucking thing from here. My buddy Garrett is actually going to be doing some. I guess it's. Well, I'll read the thing, but it's like some kind of neon. Like they use like argon gas and like neon and shit to do a bunch of art stuff.
Interesting.
So that's going to be at Delta. I just want to read the fucking. I have publicly criticized AT&T on this podcast many times, but fucking AT&T, get your shit together.
I
dog.
recently switched from AT&T to Verizon.
I've been thinking
And
about making the switch.
My life, at least phone wise, has gotten kind of better.
The coverage
better.
I've heard is a lot better.
Coverage is a lot better
Yeah.
because I mean I don't know.
I don't know the science behind it.
Yeah,
so-
I don't know how.
I don't know how
signal
phones work at
works.
all.
No, not at all.
I've never had any complaints with AT&T, honestly.
Really?
Well,
Most of the time, I'm fine.
It
Like,
might just be the fact that I have an old ass Android, but the internet is always just so fucking slow.
for sure. I've always found like where we live is kind of like we kind of live in a hole. Like you have to like.
Waterford's like in a valley, right?
Yeah, but like where we live, especially, it's like down by the Tuolumne River, pretty much. So like you just have to go down a bunch of hills before you're finally there, and any other service provider except for AT&T just like it will not.
It's gonna
work
fuck
for
you
me.
over.
Yeah, just I don't know.
Yeah, we'll talk about Waterford in a second because I want to know what it's like to fucking live there.
Oh, boy.
Damn.
Um,
Okay. Get ready.
But yeah, so what it says on the event page is located on the campus of San Joaquin Delta College, the L.H. Horton Jr. Gallery presents Neon 2, I guess they're doing the 5th through the 27th, the 27th. They're going to be doing this fucking exhibit. The gallery reception is planned for Thursday, October 5th, from 5 to 7 p.m. A guest dance performer will be held at 6 p.m. by Delta College at YAMECI Dance Company, directed by Valerie. I'm gonna fuck this last name up so hard. Valerie Nasuno Bino, and the dancers will move like kinetic sculpture adorned with neon color body paint. And some of the artists they're gonna have there are Bill Concannon from Argon Neon, Roger Daniels from CR Glow Neon, Shauna Peterson, Linda Sue Price, and Bruce Suba. So yeah, if you guys can check that out, it's going to be sick. I think the 1850 Collective is going to be exhibiting some art there. So it's going to be a major fucking time. Major time. October 6th, the day after at 6 p.m., they're going to have the Cafe Colonial benefit show. Because I guess the colony's going under.
I didn't know anything about that. I've heard people say, like, save the colony, save Cafe Colonial, and I'm like, what's happening?
I've never known. Like, did they... I don't understand. There's such a great venue.
This is my first hearing of this, actually.
I love that place as a venue.
Because the fucking... there was a venue not too long ago that just went under in Sacramento. They fucked up hardcore with their money, and they've... not the Silver Orange, but... we've played there before. What the fuck is the name of that venue? The Empire? I don't know. Whatever, but a lot of fucking Sacramento venues are closing down right now. So we have to save the colony. The colony is a righteous ass fucking place to play. I know you guys have played there.
Yeah.
So many fucking great bands have passed through there, and it's like, yeah, we need
Not
to
to
fucking
mention,
save them.
it has such a good like atmosphere.
The atmosphere is
the
great.
stage itself and like the people who are there is like, yeah.
It's very like DIY. Like there's art from people around. There's like you can play video games and shit.
Yeah,
like, it's
exactly.
pretty cool.
I saw Junior Adelberg and Slime Girls there.
I saw the event page for that.
Yeah, and that was like, full disclosure, like one of the best shows that I've ever been to.
Fuck yeah.
It was really, really good, and
I've heard they're really good. Slime Girls is like, I've heard
Slime Girls is awesome. I've been following them for a little while.
We saw them not too long after they like first started, I think.
Yeah, like in 2012.
Yeah,
we
were.
They're a chiptune project, so it's like they kind of merge chiptune with like indie rock stuff.
That's badass.
We were
it's
babies.
pretty cool.
We go to this convention every year. It's called California Extreme, and it's like. It's pretty much a massive arcade. Like this group of people rents out this convention center, and like a bunch of people like wheel in their arcade machines they have, and like
where's this at?
It's in
Santa Clara.
Santa Clara,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
But yeah, dude, they wheel them in, put them all on free play. You pay like $40 at the door, and you can just go in and fucking play arcade games all day.
Yep.
So
and
is
you
it
can
just
get
like
weekend passes and be there the whole weekend.
Is
It's
it just
awesome.
like people who
And they have a live. They have music too, live.
Yeah,
music.
there's
that's where we first saw Slime Girls.
Yeah, there's
Badass.
usually a
But,
show the Saturday that they do
Yeah,
it. But.
yeah.
nice.
But that's where I first heard about them. But yeah, I mean, I saw that show at Cafe Colonial, and it was like one of the best, at least local shows that I've ever been
That's
to.
awesome.
It was awesome. So if we could, if there's any way that place can be saved, like make it
For
happen,
real.
because that place is
Yeah, so the bands that are actually playing there are a band called Piss Cat, another band called Dead Is Better, and JKKFO, which is Johnny something Kung Fu Orchestra.
Okay.
I don't know what their
shit.
fucking name is, but they're from Ione,
Okay.
which is where I went to high school.
For sure.
Captain
Are you familiar
PewDiePie?
with the Ione Hotel?
Oh yeah, no, I used to go to shows there all the time.
Did you ever see Children of Adam there?
No, I did
I
not.
won't talk about Children of Adam.
Children of Adam.
But I won't talk about that. But there's
For sure. No, but I used to fucking go there. We saw Switchblade Frankie there, fucking Kite Runner while they were still a thing. Or no, they still play shows, don't they?
So Kite Runner occasionally gets back together to play shows, but it's very few and far between because they're all doing different stuff.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good friends with like all those dudes.
The first time I saw them was at the Ione Hotel, and then they used to. There was this place in Ione that was a karate lesson place, and then in the basement they would have punk shows there.
Oh, okay.
And it was
That's
super
cool.
badass. And I saw
Okay.
Kite Runner there, and they fucking
Kite Runner is awesome.
Yeah, they're
They're
hella
great.
good.
They're great. And I mean, especially because they're all great guys too. And,
Yeah.
Guys and people, and just people in general. They're great.
So, also playing is Captain Cutie Pie, who I don't know anything about. Pug Skulls, and it's going to be an all-age show, guys. Bring your fucking kids. Bring your newborn child to experience the glory of punk rock. And I think it's only like $5 to get in, and all of it's going to go to the venue to fucking save this place. So if you guys can make it out, definitely come to that. It's going to be just a rockin' ass time.
That actually just reminded me, that kid at the last Batcave show that had the huge mohawk.
Yeah.
You are fucking awesome.
Joey Lucchese.
Yeah, his name is. I was gonna say his name is Joey.
Yeah.
He's a drummer.
It's
in,
like
in
I
a band.
wish I was like that cool when I was 8 years old. You know,
Yeah,
8 or 9, however old he is.
But that kid respected the ancient form of the mosh, dude. He was doing like a mosh style that I haven't seen since like DVDs of punk shows in the 80s.
Yeah, he was
what the
killing
fuck?
it, dude. He was awesome, and he like watched all the bands and everything. Like,
yeah, he was genuinely into it.
That's super cool. It wasn't like a kid just doing it.
Like an image thing. He
was
doing it because of the music.
He's really
he
into it,
cares.
which is awesome.
And I guess he
Being
plays.
so young,
he
like,
plays
that's
in
so
Black
special.
Coffin, this punk band.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard too.
It's fucking crazy. That kid is crazy.
Yeah.
Joey Lucchese, if you ever end up listening to this for whatever reason, you're a badass.
You rule, kid.
Don't ever fucking change.
I wish I was like you when I was your age, for sure.
I wish my parents had let me get a fucking mohawk when I was that age.
I wish my parents were punk.
God damn it.
God.
So, another thing we have to talk about is this Halloween cover show on the 28th.
Heard about that. Gonna try to go.
Yeah, well, if there's even a venue for it, because apparently Nelson can't hold it at his garage anymore. Nelson from Cheap Shoes.
Okay.
So they're going to try to find another venue for it. But until we do, the show's not happening. So if anybody listening has a garage people can play in, fucking... I don't know if they want to do it outside because just of the possibility it might rain.
Yeah.
But if anybody has a garage or a fucking living room
Sacrifice,
or a bathroom, who knows?
Sacrifice your houses.
Yeah. Like, we have to have this show happen. There's so many fucking talented artists that are playing, doing covers and shit. And, yeah, so if anybody can save our asses on that one, it'd be fantastic.
I love Halloween shows, dude.
Yeah. Everybody gets wasted, wears a costume, fucking
it was so
just
cool.
Plays shitty music. It's awesome.
One year we played one, and it was, I can't remember exactly where it was,
do you remember? Okay, so do you know the Burning Bush, right?
Yeah.
So it was the people that I guess run the Burning Bush.
Mm-hmm.
They put on a show at their house, and they had like kind of like a pro kind of stage set up.
Yeah,
I think
they
Wow.
mic'd us and everything.
Yeah, they mic'd us and everything,
sounded
full
great.
good sound, and it was a Halloween show just at their house in the backyard.
That's so badass.
And it was really really awesome. We
all
went dressed up like traditional horror movie monsters.
Yeah. I was Dracula. Miles
Hell
was
yeah.
Frankenstein. We had someone else in our band go as werewolf, and Kurt was Mummy.
Fuck
so
yeah.
it was awesome.
No, it's interesting that you said someone else. Let's talk about this. You guys used to have a lead guitarist, right?
Yes.
Yeah. What happened to that?
So well, I mean, I don't know. Do you want to kind of talk about that?
I can talk about it, sure. So, yeah, he was a friend of ours that Miles and I have known for, like, years, and we were just trying to experiment with possibly expanding our sound and stuff like that, and I was like, hey, I know this guy. He's a pretty good friend. He could come play guitar, and he did, and we jammed, and I was like, this is pretty cool. So he joined Paperspace for a while, but there was just certain things that happened that kind of made me realize, like, this might not work out in the way that I want it to. Like, there was a problem of control, I guess, is what I would say. Like, we just felt like it was Paperspace was trying to be taken in a direction that we didn't want it to go.
Yeah.
So ultimately we just decided that it was the best that we just kept it how we've always had it.
Yeah, and I definitely understand what you mean, because we had a drummer for a minute named fucking Dylan. I don't know why I couldn't remember his name. And he was a jazz player. So it was started to kind of go in this weird twinkly drum style that's conducive to jazz. It's conducive to jazz playing, but it wasn't the sound that we were going for. Yeah. So I definitely fucking know what you mean. On the first EP, Kurt played lead guitar, right?
Yeah.
He did the solos?
He didn't end up on any recordings or anything like that. Like first and second EP was just like the three of us. We started to record with him.
Oh yeah,
and that it didn't really.
It was
work
funny
out.
because it was like I mean, we record everything just, DIY by ourselves,
Yeah.
and we use a really terrible program called Mixcraft, and
Mixcraft
Blue Snowball mics, all of that, which, say what you will, but it's like, he had a good mic, like a good studio quality mic, he had Logic on his computer, and yet couldn't make us sound
the way we wanted to.
He was the one who kind of like took the reins as far as recording went, and that's kind of what made us realize that maybe that wasn't a good idea.
Maybe not the best decision.
Yeah, and
I feel it.
Also, as well as that, it was just kind of like when it came to recording, we could never converge together to get together to record. It was like we'd get together, record something, and then he would just go and mix it and just send us what he was doing. And we were like, well, we should get together.
Yeah,
and,
we need to
the
all
process
be there for
was
the
not
decision
inclusive
making.
at all.
Yeah.
It was just kind of him wanting to.
Have you guys seen the Metallica documentary?
Is it some kind of monster?
Yeah.
I've seen that.
So the part where James is like, "Look, guys, like, I don't care if you fucking listen to the songs, but if you're gonna change anything on them, I want to be there for that." Yeah, I hardcore relate to that because the band mentality. Like, you're not a solo artist.
No,
you know what I mean? Like, it's a band.
When you're in a band, it has to be, like, all-inclusive. Every single person has to have some kind of say in how the song goes. I mean, the songwriter ultimately has, like, a big say as far as what the songs are, I guess, for lack of a better way of explaining that.
If you wrote the song, maybe you have a little bit more.
You do, but it's like, you also have to realize, like, these are... If you are in a band, and this is a band, this is not your solo project, this is a band, okay? And it's got to be all-inclusive. I mean, everyone needs to be
involved.
In it. And especially if you're not even the songwriter, but, like, a person we brought in to play guitar.
That's what I'm saying, especially if the band has already been established, and you're kind of joining as another member, it's like... I definitely see what you guys mean.
Plus, the dynamic is just, it was getting messed up, too.
Playing...
We like the three-piece, just...
Right.
Because we're all super good friends and hang out, like, outside of band shit and everything, and it just felt weird. I don't know.
We started playing the same set list every time we played a show, and, like, that's kind of, like, it got to a point where, like, Paper Space kind of started to get stale for all of us. Like, it got to the point where it's like, okay, well, either we just stop playing, or we get rid of this problem.
So we can
flourish,
like,
when it comes to Blake, like, I don't have any problems with him. Like, we're still good friends.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I have, like, no bad blood towards him or anything.
It's just a music thing.
Yeah, like, we just didn't. We didn't work. We weren't compatible in a band setting, and that's what I said. Like, dude, just because this is happening, like, just because we want to go on just on our own, like, don't stop doing what you're doing. Continue making music, like, please.
No, and it's like there are some people that you would 100% be friends with, but you wouldn't want to fuck them. You wouldn't want to be in a relationship with them. And a band is almost at that level of
intimacy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I definitely know what you mean.
Because if you're not blowing your bandmates, it's like,
exactly.
What are you doing?
You have to. What the fuck is a band for, if not for interband fellatio?
People that get fucked.
That's kind of just like what happened with that, and I don't think there's any drama still going on with it. I don't think anybody holds any sort of, like, resentment or anything.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like we make it sound a little more dramatic than it really is.
Oh no, yeah.
But it's like it's like it's just something.
It's
that
just
happened.
a music thing.
Right.
I feel it. Let's talk about because that was before I met you guys, right? That was all.
Yeah. He was with us for maybe.
He was with us from. I remember the months. It was from July 2015 into February 2016.
Okay.
So, like a little over 6 months, 6, 7, 8, whatever it is, something like that. Not super long.
So I met you guys at the Blackwater.
Yes.
The first time I fucking saw you guys, and that's why I had to come up and say something, was you were doing vocals for this cover of
we were covering I guess the mic was getting passed along or something. So
Something
me
there
and
was
you just
time
went
in
up-
between.
Yeah,
Somebody was setting
yeah.
up.
So
or-
me and
yeah.
me and Max went up and did what's the song? Who Watches the Watchmen by Prize Fighter Inferno.
Okay, gotcha.
And I did vocals and
It was badass. And what was funny was I assumed from that performance that you were the vocalist.
No.
And I was like, dude, that was fucking awesome. And then I saw you guys actually perform, and I was like, dude, these kids like just rock. Like this is fucking. I haven't heard anything like this from.
Thank you.
100%. I'm not saying that to fucking give you guys big heads or anything. It was
for
just
sure.
I heard the music, and I was like, this is a band that's doing something that not a lot of bands are doing around here. Because in the Stockton area, as I'm sure you guys are aware, it's mostly hardcore.
It's big time punk and hardcore,
Yeah,
for sure.
exactly.
And that's awesome.
So finding
yeah.
another indie band was like, oh shit, like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So your guys' sound has obviously progressed, but you guys definitely try to stick to a surf punky, kind of folky sort of sound.
Yeah. It just kind of
I don't know if
depends
we
on...
even try. Like,
I don't
it just
think
kind
there's...
of like...
Well, here's the thing about that. I mean, I don't think there's really any trying going on as far as, like, sticking to a sound.
Yeah.
Like, everything that we do is kind of...
It just flows out of you.
Yeah,
guys.
it's we don't write a song with a intention in mind, like, this is going to be a punk song.
We
or
just,
this
like,
is
stick
gonna
it all
be a-
together and see
Yeah,
what
it's
happens.
just like... Because when Paper Space started, it was pretty much just, like... Max writing songs, and then me and Kurt just doing whatever the fuck we wanted over them.
And that ended up being cool.
And
I was
that,
like,
ended
awesome.
up, that ended up kind of creating our sound. So,
Fuck yeah. By
but-
the way, I just noticed your shirt. It's a badass shirt.
Oh, thank you.
He's wearing a No Fiona shirt.
I made it myself.
If you
R.I.P..
get- Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's fucking badass. Did you just say R.I.P.?
I said
Are they not
R.I.P..
Are they not a thing anymore?
not a thing anymore.
What the fuck?
It's a
What the
big
fuck?
it's a big time crazy situation.
That fucking sucks.
yeah,
dog.
yeah, it sucks really hard. I love that. They changed my life. That band changed my life.
Do you
Like,
guys?
genuinely.
me too.
Do you guys know if they have a Bandcamp that I can plug?
Yeah, they do.
Yes,
They have an
yes.
EP.
No Fiona.bandcamp.
Yeah, and it was back when it was just Dylan, who I don't know if you. They used to play in Kite Runner.
Yeah.
They used to play bass in Kite Runner, and then
I didn't know that. Holy
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Dylan played in Kite Runner.
And then the drummer Steve, and it was just them, and then Kurt kind of came in later and did
Gotcha.
did other stuff on it.
In
But
a lot of
they
ways-
have a band camp and stuff. That band changed our lives.
Yeah.
Before we met them, we didn't. They were the ones that first started getting us shows, like Dylan and Steve.
We met them at,
and
like,
we met them at
our-
the not the Black
Bat Cave. It was like our
Oh.
third show we
third
ever
show,
played. And
How far do you guys have to drive from Waterford to fucking Oakdale?
It's like 20.
Yeah, it's not that
minutes.
far.
Yeah,
It's not that far?
not
No.
super far. But because we met them and kind of got in with like their crew and their scene, it's like we met so many great people and met
Oh,
like,
yeah,
all
yeah,
of our
yeah.
best friends. I met my
I'll forever thank
Yeah.
the No Fiona kids for, like...
I met my partner because of that, and it's been
I
like
see.
the best year and a half.
No, that
had,
fucking
so-
that whole scene up there is fucking beautiful.
It
they have a
is.
really cool
It
scene
is.
going on.
It's
back
awesome.
I
there.
love it.
I love it so much.
I love
It's
it.
my
I wouldn't
favorite.
want to be anywhere else, honestly. Like,
Yeah, same here. Exactly.
Yeah, I apologize that I sound like a fucking broken record. I've talked about this 1,000 times on the podcast, but we're so fucking lucky that we live in California because
Yeah.
the California music scene is not only you see a lot of the same people at shows,
Yeah.
but it's so diverse and accepting.
Absolutely.
People do like, you'll see hardcore kids in the fucking pit for like rap bands.
Yeah,
and, like,
yeah.
you'll see like fucking dudes wearing like all country attire showing up to metal shows.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
shit.
I was
I-
gonna say it's incredibly versatile.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it, honestly. Like, seeing how many people that are like, I see these people at like punk shows and shit all the time, but when Paper Space comes up to play, like they're right up in front, like moshing
Yeah,
and shit.
so-
I'm like,
yeah.
holy
Everyone's
shit,
so
dude!
supportive and nice
Of
and
everybody,
it's-
like-
and accepting, and it's amazing. Like,
I think it's because everybody smokes pot.
well,
I think
yeah,
everybody's
You
a
could- you
stoner
could-
there,
you
so
could-
they dig on it. You know
you
what I'm
could
saying?
factor that in, but I also just feel like people kind of appreciate the multifaceted kind of nature
Yeah.
of it because it's
It's
you're
just-
not just going to the same shows every it's a different show every time.
Yeah.
That's why
Exactly,
I like multi-genre
yeah.
shows.
It's good
so
vibes all
much.
around, honestly.
It's like every show is a multi-genre show. It's awesome.
Yeah,
I love
yeah,
it.
and that's what I love. I love that kind of started, like, because it kind of feels like, and I don't know if this sounds super, like, egotistical of me, but it kind of feels like before we started playing with No Fiona, well, I guess I should get into that too. Like, when we met No Fiona, there was, like, a period of time where we had a bunch of shows, and it was Paper Space, No Fiona, and this other band called Boston, Montana. Some of the members, half of the members are in Sloom now, but
I see.
yeah, so the three of us would play all the time, and we had kind of like this little thing going on where it's like, oh, we're the trifecta, the three bands that are always playing, and like,
It's like you got
Are they still? Sorry, I don't want to interrupt. But is Boston, Montana still a thing?
Boston, Montana is, but it's not the same as it was.
It's kind of just the frontman.
Yeah,
now.
Okay.
yeah,
whatever.
it's just his thing.
Um,
But when we started playing shows, just like the three of us, and every show was just us. No Fiona, Paper Space, Boston, Montana, and it's like before we started doing that, we didn't really notice as much of a trend of like multi-genre shows. It's like every show
it was
like,
either hardcore or punk.
This is
like,
a punk show. No, you can't play because you're an indie rock band.
No, yeah,
or this
that's-
is a folk show. No, you guys can't play because you're doing punk stuff.
Right,
Or
like,
You guys
surf
are right
punk.
because you guys have such a unique sound that blends a lot of different styles.
Well, thank you.
But it's just punk enough to where it's like you could break into that sort of
See,
hardcore
yeah, that's
scene. Yeah.
and that's why it just felt so weird to me that it wasn't. I hadn't noticed it before because it's like these bands that are out, they're not just like hardcore bands. They have so many different aspects to their sound. It's
Because
not
when I was in high school, if you went to a punk show, there weren't any bands playing that weren't punk.
Oh,
yeah,
or
yeah.
emo,
Yeah.
maybe some emo.
Yeah.
You know, and it was like, you know, it was punk, power violence, and emo.
Right.
And any other band is kind of either going to get completely ignored when they show up, or just won't even get on the bill.
exactly.
you know?
I used to go to a ton of metalcore shows and
Yeah,
like 2009, 2010, and it's like every show, it's like all the bands sounded exactly the same.
Yeah.
And you were typically there for like one.
And not
band.
to diss on any one specific band, but I
Right.
think a scene like that is going to tend to die off.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? If
definitely.
there's
Yeah.
not something for everybody,
See,
you know.
like that's kind of what was happening because 2012, 2013, there was a pretty big music scene. There was a lot of like indie rock bands that were out.
In Modesto, especially.
Yeah, but
in Modesto particularly. I
that
think
kind of
is where-
started to die down, and it ended up just kind of being like metal and punk and hardcore all the time. And like I didn't hear about shows ever. Like it was like the music scene just kind of plummeted. But
Because it might be because while hardcore is fucking fun, and I love, there's a million hardcore punk bands that I love. Those shows tend to sometimes go a little haywire.
Yeah,
People get in fights. People get too drunk.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the crowd is like, I'm not gonna come
fuck
to this
this.
band's show next time.
I
you know?
I just like to think that like maybe once people saw our little collective of bands come together and start playing shows, they were like, hey, shows don't always have to be all the fucking same.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This doesn't have to be
Like that's not me trying to be like, oh, we're responsible for that. Like,
But you guys are in a large part.
But
I think you guys really
I feel
are.
like maybe we pushed an influence, maybe a little
Yeah,
tiny
and maybe
bit.
not you guys specifically, but
Yeah,
definitely
that's
the,
what I was
the
gonna
scene
say. It might.
itself.
Yeah, that's not. I mean,
Self-propulsed itself into this like, and maybe it's because a lot of the fucking people in these bands are fucking hippies, and we'll just dig on whatever's going on,
Right,
yeah,
right.
But
for sure.
but yeah, the scene definitely propulsed itself into, I don't know if that's a word, but it propulsed itself into this like the thing that we know it to be now, which is pretty
Yeah.
fucking beautiful.
Yeah,
I love it.
definitely.
I love the
I love
scene.
the scene so much. It makes me so happy.
So let's talk for a minute about when Kurt joined the band.
Yeah.
Did you guys see No Fiona and then like kind of poach him from
no,
there?
Okay,
no,
wait.
Kurt. So
I got this.
okay.
So I was in junior year of high school, and I had been writing songs for like a long time. Not a long time, maybe a couple of years. Like I've only really been playing guitar for like 5 years
I'm
now.
gonna jump in real quick and elaborate. I've known Kurt since I think I was in 7th grade. He was in 6th grade.
Okay.
So we went to middle school together.
So you're
Miles
the
and I-
you're the oldest one in the band.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
Miles and I have both
We've known Kurt for
forever.
a really long
Forever.
time.
Like,
He
I
was
knew
actually
Kurt-
he was in Paper Space before he was in No Fiona.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I remember Kurt in like middle school and stuff like that as well. So like we've known him forever.
So he went to school in Waterford.
Yes.
Yeah, same as us.
Gotcha.
So yeah, what happened was I had been writing songs for a while,
Excuse me.
a few years, and I had come out with a few of them, and I was kind of just like, dude, like I want some accompaniment, like I kind of want to start a
Yeah.
band or something, and we got together and we jammed out, and dude, like it was kind of just like from there the sparks started flying, and like we were like, hey, we could do this. This sounds really cool. and then we didn't get shows, and then it was like, damn
Yeah.
it. But
It took us a solid, like, 6 months before we actually started getting shows.
like, dude, Paperspace in its beginnings, I was using an electric guitar I was borrowing from my biology teacher in high school. He had a Squier Telecaster in his classroom that he never used, and I was like, "Hey, can I borrow this?" And he's like, "Sure." He ended up giving it to me, and I restored it and made it cool. But yeah, he let me borrow that, and like my amplifier was a PA head for a really tiny for a really tiny PA system. It has a tape deck on the back of it and like a bunch of microphone inputs, and like when you plug the guitar into it and turn it all the way up, it had this nasty like natural distortion. And we were
brutal.
like, holy shit. So we started playing. I played on that thing until I blew the speaker out. And
if you listen to some of the early P-Space demos that are on our SoundCloud, that's what's
that's what I'm
Do
using.
it
That's
yourself,
what I'm
dude.
using.
Yeah.
DIY as fuck.
We did that. We bought a drum kit off of our friend for like $100,
It's, like,
and
super
like
cheap.
we still use it like at our house.
Yeah.
And like God, we were such a trash band when we first started, but it was so cool. It was like, oh, this is new and exciting. And then like I said, we didn't really get shows for a while, but we started to get them, and then we all pretty much upgraded our equipment, and then Paperspace was born.
Brutal.
So I wouldn't really want to have it any other way, honestly. I'm
Yeah.
glad we kind of started through like trial and error.
Same
Because
here.
you guys have, like, your sound is awesome, but it's definitely rooted in the DIY thing.
Yeah,
It's rooted
yeah.
in the mentality of, like, look, we have shitty equipment, and we've, I think every band that's starting at a relatively young age experiences this, unless they're, they have money or their family has money. But you experience a point where it's like, my skill is getting better than my equipment. Like, I'm better at my thing than what I'm equipped to do.
I think a lot of the problem is like people like equate good music to polished, clean production and great equipment and like $400 Strymon pedals and and I mean, sure, all that stuff's awesome and great, but it's like it doesn't mean shit if you don't like care about the music that you make, and I feel like that's like a big thing in DIY.
If you don't
but
have
people
your...
seem to actually care, and that's why they're like doing all that they can to make it happen.
Exactly,
you know?
Right.
exactly.
Absolutely.
And if you don't have your chops up, you can plug into a fucking expensive ass rig and it's gonna sound like shit.
Yeah,
But if
yeah,
you
for
give
sure.
someone a $50 acoustic who's been playing for 20 years, they're gonna make it sound
Oh, 100%.
delicious.
Yeah,
Totally.
exactly.
So yeah, I think that's super interesting that you guys fucking bring that up, because it's the DIY thing. I think is pretty fucking crucial to this scene.
Definitely,
You
yeah.
know, nobody in this scene has any money. Nobody's
I was
getting.
just gonna
There's
say
no
the big
major
thing
labels
about the
around here.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the big thing about the DIY scene is just that like everyone's broke, but they're making do, and it's
you don't
fucking
have
awesome.
to. You don't
like,
have to have millions in the bank to
No.
fucking like make. Some,
you don't even have to
make
have
some
thousands in the
shit.
bank.
Yeah, you know. Well, exaggeration, but
But yeah, no, it's very crucial to this scene. This fucking the mentality of people are just throwing shows in their garage,
Yeah.
which is
Oh, that's
something
so cool.
obviously that's stolen from punk. Like the hippie-ish kind of thing. We took all that fucking DIY shit from punk and made it
Yeah.
this own California thing. You know,
Well, dude, some of the best shows I've ever been to have been in people's houses.
exactly,
Same here.
exactly.
The best show I've ever been to is when I saw the Mountain Goats. Me and Miles saw the Mountain Goats live,
Fuck
but
yeah. Where was that at?
Fillmore in San Francisco.
Oh, okay. That was pretty recently, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's June, back in
God,
June.
dude, it was pure bliss.
But your
that show.
second favorite show?
Probably that Cardinal Palooza where you were like, or maybe it was the New Year's. It was at Stevie's house.
It was one of the times where was I drunk?
Yeah, it was the time.
Then it was
time where you
Cardinal
were like,
Palooza.
everyone in this fucking
Oh no
room,
That was New Year's.
That was New Year's.
That was New
I think
Year's.
so.
Yeah,
Say
I got on the
happy
mic.
birthday, Scab!
Oh man, I didn't want to have to talk about Scab on the podcast.
We don't have to talk about.
We don't have to
Scab.
talk about Scab.
I just thought it was funny that happened and everyone actually did say happy birthday, Scab.
One of the most beautiful fucking things that I've ever experienced is that New Year's show when everyone started singing fucking that Linkin Park song.
In the end.
Yeah, that was awesome as well.
Everyone wanted to
not mention that just now.
But yeah, that was honestly one of the fucking most beautiful moments. But you're right, man.
Good.
Some of the best shows that I've ever been to have been in somebody's fucking backyard or
Yeah, definitely.
How are we doing on time? All right, we got plenty of time. Cool. So let's talk about a little bit about this possible, or before we get into that, actually, Fireboy.
Yes.
What was it like recording that? Because it's very
Long.
different from I'm Glad. It's
Well,
very different.
Long,
It's funny, though.
Took months.
It's funny though, they were recorded exactly the same way,
Yeah.
but we had like gotten a little better at it, I guess. I don't know. I don't really know too much about recording. That's kind of like Miles and Kurt's thing, but yeah, when we recorded I'm Glad, we just kind of like hunkered down in like Kurt's bedroom and like recorded everything in there.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I don't feel like I still love I'm Glad just because it's like it's our baby. It's like our first thing we ever
Yeah.
did as a band. But I've always kind of felt like maybe not as much time was put into those songs as they could have been. But like Fireboy, on the other hand,
We took a really long time with Fireboy.
we like
It
made
shows.
sure
It
we made
really
sure
shows.
all the songs
Thank
were
you.
like up to a decent quality. Yeah, thank you, dude. That means
Of course.
a lot.
No, yeah. If you guys, I want to plug you guys really quick because on the we featured team on the last episode.
yeah.
But everybody, right now, stop fucking press play on this podcast right now. Go to paperspace.bandcamp.com or Spotify if you have it. It's on Spotify now. Listen to fucking Fireboy. This shit is an essential release from fucking the California music
Oh,
scene.
man.
I'm seriously, I'm not trying to fucking pump you guys up. Like, I'm
No,
just,
that just made me feel happiness. in my gut,
everybody
so
needs to
thank
listen
you.
to this EP.
Damn.
People who have never even seen you guys, I've seen whole crowds of people get, when you guys play Toad, whole crowds of people just suddenly get it. You know what I
Dude,
mean?
that,
They suddenly you know what I'm saying?
That never fails to like blow my mind that there's people out there who like want to listen to our shit and sing along to
same
songs that at one point I wrote down on a piece of paper and I was like, man, that kind of sucks.
Yeah, this is stupid.
like,
This is
like, and I'm playing it and people are singing along and shit. I'm like, oh my god! Like, we played a show at it was at Seth's house.
Yeah.
And Kevin played drums and like, dude, that was the most intimate crowd experience I think I've ever had because like I saw so many hands up in the air just like singing the songs and stuff and I'm like, dude, holy shit! Like there was tears pouring down my face during
I
because
couldn't tell from the sweat.
yeah. Well, okay,
Sweaty boy.
sweat is kind of my trademark.
Yeah.
Oh,
what?
no. There's an in-joke we all have. Max is never dry.
I'm never
He's
dry.
always sweaty.
I'm
Always wet.
Always
slightly
wet,
moist.
yes.
A little bit, yeah.
Never dry.
No, it really is. I think it comes from the fact that, and this I commented on this at the Batcave show. I saw you guys the most recent Batcave show. Your screams definitely have like
Dude.
progressed. You know, you used to do a little bit of it, but now it's like when you do it, it's fucking ferocious.
Dude,
you know what I mean?
I'm glad you think so because, like, I still think they're horrible. Like,
it's
I do
beautiful,
them
dude.
and I'm like, ooh, that was rough. And my throat's like, ooh, that was rough.
Well, because I mean, I do listen to a lot of scrams and a lot of screamo and shit, but bands that, well, like, I'll just use this as an example, like the Foo Fighters.
Mm-hmm.
Dave Grohl is singing, but when he reaches a certain decibel level, it becomes screaming.
Yeah,
and I think
yeah.
that's kind of the same thing you go for, is it's not screaming per se.
As like a
it's just-
stylistic
it's
thing.
yelling,
It's
kind
just
of.
kind
Yeah.
of.
I don't know. I like to shout sometimes.
Exactly.
And it's
Yeah.
like, there's not very many suitable places to do that, so it's like, hey, we're on stage, right?
Exactly.
I don't know.
So maybe I think that's where the sweat comes from, man. Is you're putting so much
The
emotion
throat.
into it, you know?
Yeah, that must be like if someone can find out where it's coming from, like, let me know because fuck, dude.
But
I bring extra shirts and like towels to
Oh, we
shows and
both do.
shit.
We
have
I'm
to.
like,
We have to.
fuck that, dude.
I also get very sweaty. That Batcave show, I was shiny.
Yeah.
that was a very good show. That
It
whole
was
show
a very
was
nice
really
show.
awesome.
It was
very,
awesome.
very cool.
That was, I believe, when Cardinal announced that they were going to be going under Cardinal Sins.
Yeah.
I love the
think
name
it was-
change.
Me too.
Yeah, I do
I'm
too.
so
Change is
for
awesome.
it. Yeah.
And I think it was really, I don't know if they had this planned at all, but they released the EP, the Cardinal Sins EP, and then they changed the name, and it was like, oh, this makes sense.
Yeah,
like,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, that's cool.
it definitely made it sound like maybe there was a plan for that, like, because Cardinal is a name that you would assume is
Sure,
already taken.
yeah,
you
Well,
know?
I thought of Pine Grove immediately because they have Cardinal as one of their albums. And I was like, man, I hear that word a lot. Like, but no, I really dig the name change. It kind of adds like, oddly enough, the one word pinned to the end kind of speaks like levels about their sound more than just Cardinal.
Yep, I feel the same way.
Yeah, because the first time I heard them the first time I was sober enough to understand their music was at Super Fatty Makeout Sesh, was at Malaska's tour kickoff.
Okay.
And they fucking played, and I was like, because the name was still Cardinal, and I was like, I was kind of expecting an indie band from that name, and they're obviously not a fucking indie band. So yeah, I think tacking that name on the Cardinal Sins is like, it definitely rounds it out.
Yeah,
it makes it make sense.
Totally.
Their sound is like really, it's hard hitting, it's heavy, and it's like it's
very
intense,
heavy.
and I love the 3 vocal dynamic that.
Yes.
And they're all
I
so
don't remember.
talented.
Yeah,
like,
they're all very very
and
talented.
like utilize all of their equipment like very well. Like they're a solid band.
I usually don't like 5 pieces, but I think I saw them perform as a 6-piece one time.
Oh, wow.
But I usually don't like that. I think that at least for me, this is personal preference. If you can't achieve a certain sound with 3 or 4 people, it's kind of overkill to try to throw on more people. You know what I mean?
No, for sure.
But they definitely pull it off in a way that I think is dynamic enough that, you know, Stevie has like just that chugging style, and then their other fucking guitarist, I don't know what his name is, but the dual guitar thing that they have is super dynamic.
Yeah.
Dude, that guy was ripping.
Sure.
Like
Yeah.
they played.
He's a shredder.
I can never remember the name of that song, but it's the one where it's like, I just wanted a Pepsi.
Oh, the
and
institutionalized.
she wouldn't give it to me."
Yeah.
Dude.
Suicidal tendencies.
That guy was ripping.
cover.
Like,
Yeah.
for the brief moment that I had earplugs in during that show, I was like, dude, this guy's he's fucking tearing it up.
Yeah. They fucking rip every time. Their vocalist is pretty stunning.
Yeah.
Pretty fucking stunning how
totally.
brutal he can get.
Good yell.
That's another band camp we should plug, because I'm gonna their song Desolate is gonna be on the podcast here pretty soon. I'm gonna feature. So cardinalsins.bandcamp.com. Definitely fucking check them out. They have a 4-song EP and on Spotify. Everybody's getting their shit out on Spotify. I love it.
This is really cool.
You can listen to it there. I think they have it on YouTube. But definitely check them out. They're a relatively new band.
Yeah.
Which is funny. They're
like
relatively
this
new.
year, I think,
Yeah.
is when they kind of
And they fucking literally, like, you know... And again, the first time I saw them was at New Year's, but I was drunker than fuck.
Oh, no,
I didn't know what the fuck was going on. So, but yeah, they seriously blow me away when I hear them.
Were you
And
at... Did you go to Ranch Fest, the last one that happened?
No, I did not.
Okay.
Is that at the Circle A Ranch? Is that...
That's at my partner Alex and our friend Dan's house.
Where's that at?
Every so often. It's an Angels Camp. Every so often they put on shows. They have like a really secluded kind of house in that area.
brutal.
And so,
It's awesome. Yeah. It's really cool. Some of the... Like, that's another place, like, I've seen some of the best shows there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that's always the same place where I get, like, super drunk before we play. And it's I like to think that I'm pretty well composed when I'm drunk. Like, people can't tell that I'm super wasted, but
I've never been able
at the
to
same
tell.
time, in my head, it's like, what are you doing?
Like, why did you do this?
You are next. Why are you still drinking?
I took off my shirt at a Ranch Fest while we were playing. And I would never do that sober ever.
Fuck the system.
I was so mad after that show.
Oh yeah, you were pissed.
I had to
Let's
drive.
not talk about that. Let's not talk about it.
Hold on though. I had to drive, and Miles and Kurt both got wasted, and I was the only sober one. And I was like actually trying to play, and everybody else was just like.
Now,
fuck that.
I always kind of assumed, and I try not to assume, but I always assumed Kurt was straight edge. Because I've never seen him fucking partake of anything.
I don't want to speak on Kurt's behalf, but I know he used to be, but not like he didn't have the label, like the straight edge label. He just kind of didn't do drugs.
But he's just such a fucking busy guy that I assumed, like,
no. He's very, and again, I don't want to speak on his behalf, but he seems to be pretty selective about the times he gets.
Yeah,
shit.
he partakes on
He's very
occasion.
responsible, I will say that. He's a very responsible dude.
Definitely.
Dude's such a fucking sweet guy. I
He
love
is.
that guy
He
so
is.
much. They're
Known him
fucking.
forever. He's great.
I came up and slapped you on the back before their set.
Yeah, you
at
did.
fucking Master Mode because, dude, their first track that their opening song, I think it's called Master of the World.
Yeah,
And he starts doing the wah, dude. Oh my god.
Oh
I
yeah,
can't wait for
Slume's
their next
awesome.
release,
Me too.
dude. Because
Me too. I can't wait.
their new songs sound so fucking good.
Oh yeah. Slume is a treasure to the world.
Slume's the shit.
Definitely one of my favorite local bands for sure. One
Yeah,
of
me
my
too.
favorite.
Me too.
So I had to get them on the Master Mode bill. So let's talk a little bit about the possibility of a full length.
Okay.
Is
There's
Alduin
really-
going to be on that fucking full length?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's gonna be the first track. We've decided.
Fuck yeah.
We've already decided that. I hate to there's really not too much to talk about right now. I mean, we're kind of in preparation still.
Yeah.
We've
Right,
just
right.
recently gotten all of our equipment together to actually record
We
it.
got a new recording interface. There's going to be real drums on this one
Dope.
because in the past couple EPs they've been an E-kit.
Yeah.
There's
Definitely.
going to be real drums on this one, and I'm really excited about that.
Me too.
I also don't want to spoil too much about it because I feel like
Yeah,
it's
we don't
gonna
have to
be
talk
something-
too much about it.
No.
I need to know if that fucking song is
Oh no,
on
it's
that.
gonna be
It's-
on
it's
it.
gonna be on
Believe
it,
me, it's gonna be on it.
definitely.
But it's like I just I don't know. There's not super a whole lot to talk about right now.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
And I know I talk about it a lot, like on stage. I'm like, I don't know, maybe
It's
we'll
gonna hit. We've always done that though. Like before we even started recording Fireboy, it's like, oh, we're recording a new EP. And it's like, oh, how's that coming? It's not.
It's not happening, okay.
1 week at a
We're not
time.
doing it.
So speaking of Alduin, I assume you guys both fucking play Skyrim.
Well,
You guys are Skyrim players.
I don't.
You don't?
But Max,
I'm the big fat
Why the
Skyrim
fuck
player.
not?
Max is the big gamer. I don't really play too many. I always
What
start.
the fuck is wrong with you?
Well, see, no, because I always start video games, and I'm like, this is really fun. I'm gonna invest time into this, and then I never fucking do.
Yeah.
I think I'm the only one in the band that's played Skyrim.
What the fuck? What the actual fuck? So maybe
it
this,
makes sense that you're the songwriter.
what do you main as? What's your main race?
Okay, so I've made a few characters now. My first character was an orc, but I made a kind of a backstory for him. So he's a half orc. Like his dad was the orc, and his mom was a Nord. And when he was a small,
Does that work? Do the genitals for that work?
I have
No. No, they don't.
I have no clue. I mean, in Skyrim, they all look pretty much human, aside from the faces.
I feel like they
So,
can all fuck each other.
Yeah,
probably.
I feel like it would work. So the backstory for him is like during a storm they were traveling and his parents were eaten by frost trolls, so he had to live on his own as a child in the wilderness for a while. And from that, he became this badass warrior who has a special affinity for killing frost trolls.
Okay,
And,
he's hella racist towards frost.
Yeah, he fucking hates frost trolls.
This
So,
is
like,
a lot of thought.
Yeah.
No, well,
like-
dude, that's the what people don't really understand usually about playing RPGs is you won't. The game itself is fun, but you being the character that you're playing is kind of the cool part of it.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
Well, and it's also, I like to think whenever I play games like that, it's like, well, I mean, the game starts you off at a certain point, but how did they get there?
Exactly,
How did your
yeah.
character get there?
That's why I like playing Tony Hawk's Pro Skaters, because I can pretend I'm skateboarding.
You know?
I only just recently started being a character that usually...
That's my neighbor blowing all the leaves off the fucking thing. If you guys can hear that shit.
It's probably audible.
No, I did a high elf, and I've just recently started using magic and shit like that, so it's like, I love magic, dude. I don't know why I never really used it before.
Yeah.
But, the only reason I have a backstory for my orc character is because I had to, I wanted to play D&D, but I didn't want to think of another character, so I just ripped him off of Skyrim. I was like, I'll make a backstory for him and put him in this game, which... Yeah, have you played D&D?
Yeah, I have
It is
played,
the
yeah.
shit. I love it so much.
I've only gotten to play a handful of times, but when I was in high school, my buddy Nolan was he was into creating the pen and paper games. He would he made a lot of them.
That's dope.
And I ended up making a spin-off called Lickadelia. Ryan Towers, if you're listening to this right now, you'll fucking love this part. we used to play this game called Lickadelia, and it was basically D&D, but I came up with this while I was on shrooms, by the way. Completely fucking ridiculous.
We're going to have to talk about our shroom experiences.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about that for sure, because Toad is... But yeah, we'll get into that. But while I was on shrooms, I was like, fuck, I really want to make a fucking pen and paper game. So I made this game called Lickadelia, which is Dungeons and Dragons if it took place in a world where... or maybe not Dungeons and Dragons, but it runs off the D&D system of D20 and shit.
For sure.
But it's kind of more Lord of the Rings-esque. The races of like Lord of the Rings mix with this alien race that comes down and introduces all this like high technology to the world. And then they open a rift into the human world. So you can be a human, you can be like kind of a dwarf or a fucking orc or whatever, or you can be this alien race.
That's pretty cool.
And you can the game makes no sense at all because you'll start out naked in a fucking gas station. That's like the start of the scenario.
Damn.
And then you just do whatever you want. There's no fucking rules. Like I want to create an alternate dimension where I'm not here, and it's like, all right, we'll roll for that. You know,
That's
it's just
fucking insane.
Well, because I love D&D, but it's so
There's a
limited
rigid set of
sometimes.
rules.
It's pretty limited.
I think
So-
that's good though if you're like just starting out with those kinds of games.
Yeah.
Like if it's pretty linear, like
It's the
'cause
one you have to play.
There's a lot of downtime in those games.
Mhm.
Like before anything actually happens and the plot progresses. Like we started this game. We had been we kind of stopped because like the person who's the dungeon master is like a teacher at school.
Mhm.
So like he just never has time anymore.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like we had been playing for maybe 2.5 months. And we aren't even into the main meat of our quest yet. We're still trying
fucking
to
around in town.
like
and
we're still trying to figure out what we're supposed to be doing. Like every time I think we get closer, it's like, oh, and then this happens. It's like, fuck, dude. But it's still it's really fun, and it kind of keeps like a suspense. Like you want to keep playing.
Part of it is mystery. Really, is like there's action and fucking politics with different characters and shit. But it's also a lot of it has to be mystery because. Why do you want to keep coming back and playing the game unless there's, and also an incentive at the end of the quest, gotta have a treasure chest or some shit at the end to make you want to play again. Have you guys watched Harmon Quest by any chance?
No.
Is that the show where like it's pretty much just people playing D&D?
Yeah, it's do you guys know Dan Harmon?
Dan Harmon,
Yeah,
from
yeah,
Rick and Morty fame.
They literally just play D&D and then somebody goes through and animates it.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Fucking
I have.
hilarious.
I've seen that.
It's so fucking funny. But yeah, I was watching that on CISO for a minute, that comedy app CISO.
Yeah.
Because that and I don't know if you guys are stand-up comedy fans, but Doug Stanhope's his latest comedy special were CISO exclusives. So I had to fucking it was like $9.99 a month or some shit, and I only had it for a month because I was I have to watch these things.
Yeah.
Fucking, Harmon Quest ended up being worth it. Definitely.
For sure.
Yeah, it seems pretty good,
Mm-hmm.
especially if you're into those kinds of games.
All right, we're good on time. What were we just fucking talking about? D&D.
The conversation
Started about
Alduin.
Alduin.
That's
Alduin,
right. That's right. Yeah.
But fucking main race usually orc. I like orcs.
Usually orc.
Just because like they're fucking badass warriors, dude.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I leveled my orc character up enough to the point where like it's really funny because if you go back to like the lower levels of the map, like I'll stumble upon a camp or something, and like these bandits will come out and be like, "We're gonna kill you," and it's just like.
Yeah.
And their heads are just coming off. It's so
Dunzo.
cool.
Yeah.
It's so cool. It's
Orcs
just like,
definitely have kind of a fucking. I think mainly orcs and Argonians have fucking just such a because Argonians have the skill where you can it regenerates your health.
Yeah, you can breathe underwater too,
And,
right?
and you're immune to poison. They're so fucking overpowered.
Is that
Invincible.
your main?
Usually Argonian. My first character, I actually got Skyrim the day it came out. I was at a release party
Sweet.
for it, and I made an orc character because I'm a fucking idiot. I made a necromancer. I made him specialize in conjuration.
Okay.
So I got to like level 66 with that character and was like this obviously is like sucking up way too much of my fucking time.
Yeah.
So I stopped playing for a long time, and then when I got back into it, I started doing Argonian because I started looking into like the stats and the fucking what skills they have, and it's like they're just so overpowered.
Yeah,
they're so fucking overpowered.
Yeah. I tried to play Skyrim when it came out, and I didn't like it because
Really?
I was a Fallout kid.
That's a big fucking complaint with Fallout.
So I was playing Fallout like nonstop. I was like, I think my problem was I wasn't ready to detach myself from Fallout yet.
Yeah,
so when I started
they're very
playing,
similar.
when I started playing Skyrim, I'm just like, man, I just want to play Fallout. So
I want to shoot things.
Yeah, but I didn't pick it up until they came out with the remastered edition,
the Legendary Edition.
Yeah, whatever it is, it has all the DLC and stuff automatically installed onto it and stuff like that. And once I started playing that, like I started getting into it. Once I got a PS4, and I was like, dude, why did I not see this before? Like this game's legit. It's so cool.
Yeah, and I think you're not super big into video games, but have you played the new Zelda, Max?
I have played a little bit.
Okay, yeah.
And it makes me want to buy a Switch.
Yeah, 100%, dude. That shit
I played
is
it
badass.
I played it at a friend's house, and like, dude, it's exactly how everyone described it. Like, it's like all the good elements of Skyrim and all the good elements of Zelda, like, placed into one game. Which is cool if you get Skyrim on the Switch and you use the Link amiibo, you can actually get his armor and his sword and stuff.
No fucking way.
Yeah. And
way.
to draw the bow, you use the remotes. Like,
what?
Yeah, it's so cool. Like, it makes me want to buy a Switch. Like, dude.
No, I'm definitely, once I have the money for it, I'm 100% buying a Switch. Because it was initially just a Zelda machine. That was like the only fucking thing that they'd released that was worthwhile.
If you can get your hands on one, because I guess Nintendo didn't make enough.
Yeah, and they're kind of faulty too, from what I've heard. Like,
really?
There's the place, the parts that you put the controller into. If you put them
they slide out a lot. Yeah.
If you put them in wrong though, like if you put one side on, like if you switch the sides, they become stuck and you can't get them out.
No fucking way.
Yeah, and people were having this problem.
Just fucking dumbasses putting them on the wrong way.
Well, okay, seriously,
I get that.
There's legit.
It shouldn't be happening.
There's compilations on YouTube of people's Switches just fucking up.
That's fucking horrible.
There's like screen glitches and shit like that. Like, they're like flickering and making weird noises, and like someone turned on Breath of the Wild and it was just negative. Like, like it's so weird.
You can definitely tell when you're playing, because my brother-in-law has a Switch, so I go over there and play all the time. Mm-hmm. I've beaten the game multiple times. It's fucking phenomenal. If you guys do have a chance to play it, definitely do.
I watched my partner play it a few times. It's really good. It looks really
I could
good.
see myself putting way too much time
exactly,
into it,
dude. I honestly might have put more time into that than Skyrim, which is fucking surprising. But yeah, you can definitely tell when you're playing that the Switch was kind of in over its head with the graphic content and the fucking you know, it's there's
it
a lot
tried, but Nintendo doesn't know how to run a business.
they know how to. I feel like they know how to work with technology, but they don't know how to like refine it well enough before they just push it out there. It's like,
they just want to make money, man, and
like,
it's pretty clear.
I feel like the Wii had a lot of lost potential.
Mm-hmm.
Like it could have been so much better, and then they came out with the Wii U, but it's like, hey, you guys are like 10 years late.
Yeah,
so...
this shit's It was funny with the Wii because it was supposed to be the like the first solely motion control console, and then it ended up all the games after a while
sideways. Yeah.
Well, yeah. After a while, they were like, "Oh, nobody wants to fucking swing shit around," so they were like, "Let's start making games where it's just a normal controller." And it's like, what the fuck is the point of the Wii then?
Yeah, it's like why didn't you just make it with regular controller then?
So, there was another question I wanted to ask you about fucking Skyrim before we move on, but Stormcloaks or Imperials?
Oh, Stormcloaks.
Stormcloaks?
You
fucking racist.
I usually always follow the Stormcloaks because I don't know, dude. The Imperials run everything. It's like fuck you guys. Like Stormcloaks.
The anarchist in me definitely is like I don't want to fucking.
I mean, they kind of guilt trip you because they show you Ulfric at the beginning and his mouth is tied shut, and you're like, man, what's this guy's deal? Like,
what the fuck happened?
They start you off with the Stormcloaks. I feel like that's the game's way of telling you, hey, follow these guys.
You should be a Stormcloak.
Yeah, you should go this. I always follow the Stormcloaks first, though.
I honestly, I avoid doing the Civil War quest line as long as I fucking can.
Yeah,
because I just if I was actually in Skyrim, I'd be like, I don't want to get involved, guys.
Yeah.
It's you guys are fucking
right. What I've been doing with Fallout and Skyrim lately is instead of as soon as I get into the game, like going through the main quests, I'll just take time to level up and just get into fights and stuff so that I can like build up my levels and stuff like that.
Before you
so
actually do the quest.
By the time you get to the quest, it's like, man, this is like super easy. I can just breeze through this shit like.
And it's unless you play on Legendary, because they when they released Legendary Edition, they fucking added more difficulty to the Legendary option. So if you play on Legendary, it's impossible. You can't fucking beat the game. Well,
I've never even tried.
I can't, but when you play on normal, it's fucking easy. It's a really easy game. I think they fucked up with the difficulty a little bit on that.
Dude, I think Fallout 4 really fucked with the difficulty, because the first time I played it, I was so mad. I was like, this is fucking hard. Like,
have you played any of Fallout 4? I haven't really played much of it.
So, it's another one of those situations where I start it, but I just didn't, I couldn't. Not that I couldn't invest time into it, it's just that I didn't invest time into it.
Yeah.
So.
My girlfriend got really into Skyrim, actually. And I was like, hey, you should try playing Fallout. And she did not like it.
Which one?
4.
Okay.
She got past the character stage, and she was like, I don't like this. And I was like, okay, it's the same game, just with guns, pretty much. But, like, I can understand that, totally.
Sure.
I mean, I feel like I've put the most time into Fallout 4, but if I were to pick one, I think my favorite one is probably Fallout 3, just because of the nostalgia I have for it.
And I think ultimately, I haven't played much of 4 or 3. I was mainly a New Vegas dude.
No, New Vegas is the shit, don't get me wrong. But
yeah, I've heard that Fallout 3 had technically like the best story, like as far as linear storyline.
It has a really good story, and as well as it makes you feel the vibe of being like lost in a wasteland.
I played a little bit of 3, and it did.
Fallout 4.
Fallout
4 is like, it's good. I really like it. It's probably one of my favorite games ever. But it kind of feels like it's just trying to recreate what like the older games had, rather than
update it a little bit.
Yeah, and it's like this is cool and this is really awesome, but like there's just something about those older Fallout games where you're like, dude, this is scary.
This
like,
is scary and sad and fucking
Have you
weird.
played the first 2 Fallouts?
I tried to play Fallout 1, but it was boring as fuck.
They are
really,
like,
this is stupid.
They are really boring, but my favorite thing about them is like the little animatics when you talk to people. Like those are cool. Like I don't know who like casted the voice actors for that game, but like they did a great job. But that's really all I have to say about those games. They are pretty boring.
It was. I mean, like I tried to play it, and it reminded me a lot of the first 2 Diablos.
Yes,
I was really
knew that's where
into
you were going to
Diablo.
go with that. Yeah,
And fucking, I was playing it, and I was like, this is scary, and it has a Diablo-ish vibe, but the controls were really hard to fucking pick up at first.
Yeah.
And I was playing on computer, and it was like, this is fucking. It's just after a while, it was like, I'd rather go play my fucking N64. What the fuck?
Right. The first time I played Fallout 3, though, and I think this is one of the main reasons why it's my favorite. First time I played it, I said fuck it to the storyline. Like, I figured out that when you kill people, you can dismember them. And that was all I did. I went to every settlement in the game and just started killing everybody and just cutting them into pieces. And I was like, this is fucking awesome, dude. And then I was like, hey, the story's pretty good too, so I guess I should play that.
Maybe I should be focusing on this.
Yeah, maybe I should be doing what I'm supposed to.
Yeah. And then from there I was just like, it's so cool. I just feel like
and this is super stoner talk. I'm sober as fuck, but this is super stoner talk. When you're playing a video game and it gives you the option to stray away from the main storyline, it feels like to me, because that's what people say about Skyrim all the time, is like, yeah, you get sent on this quest and then you never even get to it. You're fucking doing a bunch of other shit the whole time.
Yeah, you could just walk away. Like, you don't even have to.
Yeah, and that's I want to tie this into life really quick, because you don't... When you get to a certain point in your main quest, which I guess is trying to buy a house and, like, go to college and, like, have a wife and stuff...
Be the best
you
you can be.
Yeah. It's like... people want to not do that. People have the natural inclination to like, well, I want to enjoy my life and like go to the beach and like,
Right.
you know, fucking have some fun. And it's like,
dude,
you know, it makes me think of video games where it's like, nobody wants to fucking do the main quest.
bro,
you know?
it's kind of like what I said a few seconds ago, where instead of just going into the main quest, you take time to level up first.
Exactly.
Whoa.
It's life, dude. It's life.
Whoa.
Because you have to gain the experience. You have to grind your experience really quick before you're like. Because I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to have fucking kids until I know what the fuck I'm doing
Absolutely.
on this planet. I want.
Absolutely.
If
I'll say that
am
right now, never.
yeah.
for me.
If I right now the idea of kids makes me fucking terrified, and I probably don't want to do it. But if there was a time where I did want to do it, I want to make sure I have my shit down.
Yeah,
I want to,
absolutely.
like, have enough
Absolutely.
money.
I would
and-
never, like,
right
even
there
if
with
I
you, man.
wanted to, I would never do it unless I knew that I could support both myself and another fucking human being.
Because it seems inhumane to fucking have a child
Yeah.
and not have the means to take care of them or not be emotionally available for them.
It's messed up. It's messed up, and I would never want to. I can barely take care of myself, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm barely managing this right
Yeah.
No, I feel that completely, totally.
now. Before we get too long on this, we should probably go to break. We're going to listen to a song by Goodface right now. This track is called Limitless. You can find this on YouTube. It's Goodface with 3 O's. And we'll be right back, bitches.